But anyway, I got an email we're still trying to catch up on the emails from over the holidays. The regular folks out there, besides you're irregular, Grundy.
Yeah, you tell me about it. Yep.
Yeah, well, they know that I'm averse to getting on the technology when it's trying to be the holidays. So I'm going to, but I got an email from Raphael, who apparently lives in Brazil. Well, he says, I'm a Brazilian fan. So hold on, I'm going to wash this down here.
Maybe he's a fan of Brazilians. Could it be that?
No, he's from Raphael because he's talking about an incident over here. Oh, but anyway, and he says, hi, Jim and Brian. So I don't know how the he knew you were going to be doing a show.
Clairvoyance.
No, I think he's a Presbyterian. My name is Raphael. I'm a Brazilian fan, and I listen to the podcast every week during my gym workout hours. There is this somehow obscure story about the first and only house show WWE had in Brazil. Now, you used to work up there for the Evil Empire. I don't remember him ever running Brazil.
No, I don't either.
I was there.
No, but if it was only one show, I could see how that would slip between the cracks.
I'm saying that, I don't remember ever them going to Brazil, and you were there. And so it appears that they've only, I'm sure one of the well-informed out there will let us know the exact records, but apparently this is the first and only house show they ever had in Brazil. The year was 2012, and it involved Chris Jericho getting suspended from WWE at the time and some shenanigans. So I thought it would be fun to share with you, because now this is apparently publicly checkable, right? I think I remember something, but it might be also confusing with Bradshaw got in trouble in Germany. Were you around then?
Yes, I know that story. I remember when that happened. I was around then, yes.
So maybe I heard about this. Maybe I was thinking it was that or whatever, but we invite everybody to check Raphael's testimony here is what I'm talking about. It was clear that WWE was betting a lot on Brazil, given the amount of publicity that took place. At the beginning of May, WWE sent The Miz and Kofi Kingston to Brazil in order to publicize the event that would take place in Sao Paulo. You guys can check some photos of what I'm saying on this website, and then there's a link. I don't know how to fucking convey that verbally. The card of the event was actually pretty cool for the time, featured CM Punk, Chris Jericho, John Cena, The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Beth Phoenix, and others. The main event was a match between CM Punk and Chris Jericho. And Jericho tried to get some heel heat by kicking and stomping the Brazilian flag in the middle of the ring with a lot of police officers and military staff in the seats. Now, and there is a picture. He included a picture of Jericho. I assume this is the Brazilian flag. I'm not a flag expert, but it's obviously the Raw signage is in the background, and Jericho is holding up the flag. But anyway, he says, because apparently it's not new, it's not recent, it's not a midlife crisis that Jericho keeps having public relations mishaps and makes poor public choices in his fight against authority, being the rebel rocker that he is. So Raphael says, after this villainous act by Chris Jericho, the Sao Paulo military police were completely outraged and even arrested Jericho. The confusion was only resolved after Jericho took the microphone and apologized to the public, because if he didn't, he would leave in handcuffs. But the problems didn't stop there. On his podcast, Talk is Jericho, he said that the company had to negotiate with the authorities so that he could leave the country.
Wow.
I don't know about that, to be honest. Maybe that might be a little glorification. I wouldn't talk about it on the podcast if I'd done something so stupid that they had to negotiate with authorities for me to leave a country.
Not only that, but
I've talked about my colonoscopy, but I don't know if I could go that embarrassing. What?
I've never heard that before. That's the crazy thing. Like I've never heard that story. You would almost think if it slipped under the radar, maybe you leave it there,
Well, hold on here. Wait a minute. All of this, Raphael says, left Vince McMahon completely furious. And then Jericho was suspended from WWE for 30 days because of what happened. You can fact check that info on the official WWE website. There's apparently, it says wwe.com/inside/Jericho-Brazil. Does that make it? Can you type that in, or if you do, will it electrocute you? Are you going into some goddamn virus?
Jericho. I'll just do a little Google search here.
www.wwe.com. Inside Jericho, Brazil. Sounds like a fucking South American porn movie to me.
So apparently, yeah, it did happen. Chris Jericho, this is on www.com. I'm not sure if it's the exact article, but Chris Jericho responds to Brazil incident. And this is on their website. At a WWE live event in Sao Paulo.
How do you say that shit?
I think it's Sao Paulo. Chris Jericho reportedly denigrated the Brazilian flag during a match, suspended for 30 days, responded to the incident in his own words. I made a bad judgment call in the course of entertaining fans in Brazil. This is what he told to the website, which you can take with a grain of salt because that could have just been written by a writer.
Trying to piss off the fans in Brazil. He's trying to be a heel, but you can do that here, but you can't do that there.
I apologize to the people in the crowd for showing disrespect. Now listen to this. During Jericho's match with the WWE champion, the flag found its way into the ring somehow. I guess it walked or something. The flag found its way into the ring where Jericho crumpled it and then kicked it. Local law enforcement stopped the bout, gave him the opportunity to apologize or face incarceration. Yeah. So it was a bad move, Jericho said. I did it with fans' entertainment in mind, and I'll accept the consequences for that. So, yes.
Well, Ed Raphael concludes that WWE never returned to Brazil after this event because there were some legal ramifications. And he says, so yeah, as a Brazilian fan, thank you, Chris Jericho. But here's the thing. Yes, you can get away with that shit.
Right.
In the United States.
Well, he was trying to do yeah.
Well, but hold it. You can get away with that in the United States, but even then you got to pick. You couldn't. Can you imagine if you'd have had the Iron Sheik stomping on the American flag at an event at Fort Bragg, or what, an army base, like we had one of the Clash of Champions one time. He says, Raphael says that the fucking military police are in the stands.
Yes.
If I'm at a show in a foreign country where there's military police in the stands, I'm not sure I'm going to pull hair, much less stomp on a fucking flag.
He was trying to
I've been in that situation in Louisiana when we were in the middle of a fucking, angry crowd with little security. We're like, heel, who, us? Fuck it, headlock, right? I'm sorry,
right.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think he was trying to do what Shawn Michaels had done in Canada. I mean, that was like the thing, I guess, that a lot of people have tried to copy. Somebody did it in AEW where I think the Bucks did it, of taking the maple leaf flag and
sticking it up his nose.
Up your nose, between your legs, humping it in the ring, the whole thing. So I think that kind of opened the floodgates. But you're right. Sometimes you have to know, as they say, read the room.
That's the thing, is that in between, and once again, Canada. What are you going to do in Canada? They're going to issue you a fucking written citation to modify your behavior. In Brazil or in Germany or in wherever some of the places they go, they may fucking put you up at a firing squad, because in between Michael shoving the maple leaf up his nose, along with half of fucking Colombia in the 90s, and this incident with Jericho in the Brazilian flag was the thing with Bradshaw, JBL, and I mean, it was the 90s and the Attitude Era, and at least you could say or maybe it was the early 2000s.
No, it was the 2000s. Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
And for people that may not remember it or know, you're talking about when he started goose-stepping around the ring in Germany, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes.
And he found out fairly quickly that is actually illegal now in Germany. They went all the way with trying to fucking apologize for their shit. And now if you do that shit out in public, they will throw you in fucking jail, which is maybe something we ought to take up over here at a later time. But nevertheless, so that's the thing in the same company, because Bradshaw got all kinds of, he had to apologize and he got all kinds of heat and they were pissed. And it's the same company and it's a legendary locker room story that now JBL, now that he's fucking on the golf course in Bermuda, can sit back and fucking laugh about. But at the time, he was shaking like a dog shitting peach seeds. So you would think that you would err on the side of safety when you have the flag of the foreign country that you are in, and the military police representing that flag are in the fucking stands with guns. Just a thought.